Welcome, dear wanderers, to Abyss of Horror, where love and madness are often indistinguishable, where the lines between devotion and destruction blur into something unspeakable. Tonight we descend into the depths of obsession, into the mind of a woman who believes love is not just a feeling, but something she can sculpt, mold, shape, and perfect. This is the story of Liam and Renee, a love story, a horror story, a lesson in how far one can go in the name of perfection. But be warned, perfection comes with a price. Liam met Renee on a crisp autumn evening. She had the kind of beauty that seemed effortless, messy hair that still fell perfectly, eyes that glowed with unshakable warmth, a smile that could make the world feel lighter. She laughed easily, listened intently, and made him feel like he was the only man on earth. From the moment they met, she was perfect. Their love was intoxicating, all-consuming. She made every moment special, every touch electric. She left notes on his pillow, surprised him with homemade meals, whispered his name like it was sacred. She called him her perfect man, her beautiful Liam, and he believed her. When she suggested moving in together after only a few months, he barely hesitated. After all, who would refuse perfection? But perfection has rules. The changes came slowly, so slowly that at first he hardly noticed. The warmth never faded, but it became laced with something else. Something that felt like an invisible weight pressing down on his chest. Renee started making small suggestions, tiny adjustments to him. You should drink more water, she said, refilling his glass before he even had a chance to protest. You shouldn't slouch like that, love, she murmured, gently tilting his chin up with her fingers. This color washes you out, she mused, tossing half his wardrobe into a donation bag. She did it all with a smile, with love. Liam convinced himself she was just looking out for him. After all, isn't that what a good partner does? But soon, the adjustments became expectations. She picked out his meals, monitoring everything he ate. When he grabbed a burger on the way home, she greeted him with nothing but silence. The silence stretched through dinner, through the night, through the next morning. He apologized, though he wasn't sure what for. She kissed him and said, "I forgive you, love. I just want you to be the best version of yourself." It felt like a second chance. But the rules kept growing. He had to text back within a minute. No exceptions. He had to look her in the eyes whenever they spoke. He had to smile more, because she liked him better that way. She never screamed, never hit him. That would have made it obvious. Instead, she punished him with silence, with distance, with a cold, unsettling stillness that made him feel like he was suffocating. And when he did what she wanted, when he obeyed, she smothered him in love again. So he stopped arguing, stopped resisting. After all, love is compromise, right? Until the night he woke up, strapped to a chair, his wrists, his ankles, stitched together. Thick black sutures crisscrossed his skin, biting into his flesh. His breath hitched as panic set in, as the horror of his situation took shape. Renee sat beside him, her expression one of serene devotion. "I should have done this sooner," she whispered, brushing his sweat-soaked hair from his forehead. "I see it now, Liam. You were always meant to be my masterpiece." His throat was raw from screaming. She pressed a gentle finger against his lips, silencing him. "You always ruin things with noise," she murmured. A needle, a thread, the sharp bite of steel piercing flesh. The first stitch pulled his lips together, silencing him forever. Pain was no longer just a sensation. It was a state of being. Each night Renee perfected him. She fused his fingers together into a ring. His ribs were broken and reset, molding his chest into a permanent, unbreakable embrace. His knees were bent backward, his spine curved into submission. She sewed, she cut, she sculpted. When the pain became too much, he drifted into delirium. But even in the haze, he heard her, whispering, loving, worshiping. "My beautiful, beautiful Liam." When she was finally done, she stepped back to admire her work. Liam could no longer move, no longer resist. He was bound in his own skin, reshaped by her vision of perfection. She pressed herself against him, sighing in contentment. "Perfection is never truly complete," she whispered. And he realized, even in his mutilation, that she was not finished. Not yet. Not ever. Darkness creeps into every love story, doesn't it? How deep it burrows depends on the hands that mold it, on the obsession that fuels it. Renee's love was eternal, and in the end, Liam became hers. Not in heart, not in spirit, but in flesh. A perfect lover, sculpted in agony, frozen in devotion. And perhaps, dear wanderers, that is the true horror of love. If you've made it this far, if you've peered into the abyss with me tonight, leave a comment below with the word eternal. Let me know you survived. Like this video to keep the darkness alive, and subscribe to ensure you never escape the nightmares of Abyss of Horror. For now, rest easy. But beware. Someone out there loves you enough to never let you go. Love is supposed to set you free, but some love binds, reshapes, and devours. If you made it out of the story with your skin still your own, like this video, before someone decides to perfect you too. And if you never want to escape the horrors lurking in the abyss, subscribe before the stitches tighten.